Down in South Florida, where the NASCAR championship race will go down this weekend. And Goodyear, well, they have a blimp of some acclaim, and as they do with all major sports events, they will be covering it. And covering that for us is Marty Smith. He is in that blimp. Good morning, sir.
How about that, Rockin' Randall? I'm in the Goodyear. None of us dreamed of doing this when we were 5 years old, watching sports. It's fantastic.
Yes, sir.
The view is unbelievable. We have made the 20-minute flight from the Homestead Airport over here to Homestead Miami Speedway. And just take a look at this. George is going to pan over. Look how beautiful this is. It's just such an iconic view from the blimp. We're about 1,500 feet right now above the racetrack. And let's look at the racetrack from up here. You can see the lake down here, the strip of water with several boats on it. Oftentimes at NASCAR tracks, drivers participate in charity fishing tournaments. Darrell Gwynn's being one of them. That's an annual event. Tony Stewart participates. Clint Boyer, I think they're both down there right now on one of those boats. Now, beyond the lake, even further, you can see several motor homes. That's where the drivers stay during the weekends. And then beyond that, you'll see the transporters, the NASCAR 18-wheelers that are lined up. They look like matchbox cars right now. But those are the command posts for the teams, where they strategize, where they meet, where they debrief. All of the drivers from each team will meet after practices and go over what they experienced in those transporters. Beyond that, as we make our way around the racetrack here, turns 3 and 4, you will see the garage area where the cars are have begun work in preparation for practice later today. I actually had the opportunity last evening, after a sit-down interview with Jimmy Johnson, about the opportunity to tie Dale Earnhardt and Richard Petty with his 7th Sprint Cup Series championship, which airs tonight at 6 o'clock, by the way. He said, hey, man, hop in the Suburban. Let's take a lap. So we got in his Suburban down here in Turn 1 at the end of pit road, and we started to make our way around the racetrack. And I wondered what he was doing, because he was actually very focused. He wasn't laughing or cutting up. He was intently paying attention to the track. He was looking at every bump, every fissure, every seam, every crevice, to reacclimate himself to what he will experience in the race car starting today in practice, and certainly Sunday during the race itself. And he was really adamant about how bumpy the upper groove is, up right by the wall. They tend to drive up there at this racetrack, and it was actually a look of concern on his face, perplexed, like it was different than it had been in the past. So that was a very unique experience for me to have that opportunity. Now, being in the Goodyear blimp, certainly a unique experience, and I want to learn a little more about it. Let's go up here and chat with my man Doc and my man Jeff. These are our pilots today here on the Goodyear blimp. Doc, I want to start with you. As you are circling around the racetrack here, or any event that you guys cover, are there marks you're supposed to hit? How do you go about the choreography here?
Well, we kind of like what you guys are probably used to. We take a little bit of direction from the director, but basically our job is to make sure that the entire track stays in sight pretty much all the time. So if I can see it out my window, most likely our cameraman can see it as well. And that's what we're looking for. We're looking to get the best picture to the folks on the ground and help you guys out to production of the race.
Jeff, being a pilot for the Goodyear blimp seems like a pretty plum gig. How does one become the pilot for the Goodyear blimp?
Well, we hire pilots that are already flying some other type of aircraft, either helicopters or airplanes. And once we hire them, you know, it's a little bit of a application process and a lot of vetting. You know, we hire a pilot and then we'll do airship training with them. Sometimes it'll take a few months, could take up to a year to teach someone how to fly an airship.
Awesome. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for bringing us up here today. Now, guys, I'm told by these gentlemen that if they open this thing up, it goes 73 miles an hour. We like speed around here, so I might have those guys open this thing up, put it on the map. And just one last thing, Ice Cube, I know you're watching, man. Sorry, your name's not on the side today. It says this is Sports Center. You're not mentioned, my man. Guys, back to you.
Yeah, today was a good day. Yes, I was waiting for that. By the way, you just watched history. A live shot with the pilots of the blimp here on Sports Center.
That ain't bad.
Right?
Not bad at all.
Cool.
I got a little nervous there during the interview.
Well, he said open it up.
Don't distract the pilots, man.
Let them do their thing. All
Nice cube mentioned. That's great.
We're going to move on now because we have something really cool to show you. It began as a challenge from a coworker, turned into an